number 84. Today I'm going to introduce a few people who are in my spirit world. Here we have, this is a silhouette of Frances Ireland Marshall. She's my step-grandmother. She was married to Jay, my grandfather, my father's father, and together they ran Magic Inc., which is where I am right now in Chicago. Here's Maxine Sullivan, a jazz singer. She had a very long career. Here's Maxine. Here's an older Maxine, a younger Maxine. This is Andre Segovia. I am a guitarist, and Andre Segovia is I'm not really a classical guitarist, but Andre Segovia is a great guitarist. Here we have Jimi Hendrix, Roger Miller, and who's this? Johnny Gimbel, Herman Johnson, Boxcar Willie, Waldo. So I'll point out that on this Maxine Sullivan CD called Good Morning Life, she's wearing a jacket that says, I wish it would focus, but it says Jazz Power. Now, talking about the spirit world. So something that sets me apart and sets this Neo-Swedenborgianism apart is the way I talk about the spirit world. Because the spirit world uses a definition of the word spirit to mean your emotional state. So a person can be said to be in good spirits or in bad spirits. So your spirit world is your emotional world, but it's more specifically the world in which it's things you have feelings about. Okay? So for instance, this CD, Good Morning Life, I've enjoyed that CD quite a bit, and I've listened to all of Maxine Sullivan. And my grandfather, I asked my grandfather once if he had ever played the Village Vanguard in New York, because he was a performer in New York, in Manhattan, and I had heard of the Village Vanguard through the folky scene of the 50s and 60s, but it turns out he opened for Maxine Sullivan for a year. He played the Village Vanguard in New York for over a year, which is quite an accomplishment. So we went down, we drove down to Jazz Record Mart downtown and bought a bunch of Maxine Sullivan CDs, and we used to play them a lot. And I still listen to them. It's real good music. So I have a warm spot in my heart for Maxine Sullivan, who is someone who I've never met. Okay? And so everybody has a spirit world, which is to say feelings and thoughts about things. And so in your spirit world, you know, it's your relatives will be in your spirit world, but it's also anybody you care about. So you can discover a new author, for instance, and read that author and maybe find out some things about that author. And so that author is in your spirit world. Since the spirit world, let's say you know a lot of authors, the spirit world then becomes the world of your thoughts and feelings in your mind, but it's also vast. And I have a way of organizing it. Basically, it's organized. I mean, it falls into its own organic organization. Okay, so for instance, here on this CD, there's a bass player, Terry Peoples, real fine bass player. So, and I've dug on Terry Peoples playing on this CD quite a bit, and I looked him up. He's no longer alive. So he's in my spirit world, but if you imagine where he might be, he would probably be somewhere near where Maxine Sullivan is. So the spirit world is organized.